Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show, where we are having confessions and conversations about your everyday life. My name is Yamitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? I hope we're ready to get this morning started. I know I am. It's going to be a great day. It's going to be the most amazing day. Good morning, Miss Rivera. How you doing? I want to change your atmosphere really fast. If you clap your hands loudly, it rejuvenates you. I promise. Your mind is a powerful thing. So good morning. Let me do the introduction because I want to talk about some things this morning. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show, where we are having confessions and conversations. My name is Yamitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? Good morning, Miss Lowe. Yes, I'm ready to get this day started. Please make sure you share the show because sharing is caring. If your friends and family don't have Facebook, send them over to the YouTube channel. They can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows over there. Don't forget we have the podcast on 14 different platforms. So you can take me to iHeartRadio. Listen to me on iHeartRadio, Pandora, Amazon Music, honey, wherever. Whether you have an Android or Apple. We're on Apple as well. They don't do that. Tell them they can watch the movie The Last Time with Mr. Tommy Ford. If they don't do that, tell them I said it's going to be the most amazing day ever. Good morning, Miss Lowe. How you doing? So on this great day, yesterday was a good show. We talked about what can I do for you and how can I serve you? That was my question for you guys on yesterday. And I really meant that. I really meant how can I serve you and what can I do for you today? Because I think it's important that people know that there's somebody, honey, when times are hard, that there is somebody out there who is willing to listen and understand and hold space for you. And so it's really important for me to share that with you on yesterday. So I got good morning, Tammy. Tammy, I meant to call you last night, but it was like 10:45, 11. I was like, I'll just talk to her in the morning. So I'll give you a call later. Y'all, I have 3 quotes because I couldn't decide, and they all kind of tie into today. So here we go. By what authority would I remain silent? Is quote number 1. That's in the book Lioness Arising. The second is, what stories have I loved and believed in that I have created possibilities and limitations for me? That's by Bridget Cook Birch. And the third one is, to be authentic, you need to understand your values and live by them. By what authority would you remain silent? Y'all know that's one of my favorite quotes. We've talked about that before. Why are you remaining silent about that thing? What stories have I loved and believed in that have created possibilities and limitations for me? What stories have you told yourself that are creating possibilities and limitations for yourself? That's a good question to ask. And the third quote is, to be authentic, you need to understand your values and live by them. To be authentic, you need to understand your values and live by them. And let's be clear. If you don't understand your values, someone will give you their values and you will be forced to live them. I like that. If you don't understand your values, somebody will give you theirs and you will be forced to live them. And then you're going to be angry, right? Then you're really going to be mad, like, who is this person to give this value system to me when it doesn't serve me, but I accept it? And we have to be diligent, right? And mindful and aware at all times that other people are giving us things that may or may not serve us. And it is up to us to decide what we accept, right? And if you're a guy's girl, it says doorkeeper. Listen, I know the Bible, but where y'all gonna have to find it. We are the doorkeeper to ourselves. If you ever went to church, you were the usher. You are the usher to yourself. You know, in the Amy Zion Church, honey, I was Queen Usher. I wasn't gonna let you in if there's reading the scripture, if they was doing a prayer, honey. I knew my role, and I was gonna make you spit out the gum, and I wore my gloves. I was on it. But as the usher, I said who got to come in and who didn't. When was the right time and when was not the right time? And we are the usher to ourselves, our mindset, mental, emotional, physical, and financial. We are the usher to those things. So we are the doorkeeper to what we take in every day. Now, if that thing continuously upsets us or angers us, that means somehow, some way, something has slipped past the door. And remember, we're all good ground. Sometimes people give us bad seeds. And whatever is planted will grow, especially if it landed in good ground. So if I'm good ground and you give me bad seeds and they plant, I then, as the gardener, the doorkeeper, the usher of me, the temple of JoJo, I have to be aware of what has been given to me. So that may mean I tear up the garden. That may mean, you know, like our boy Jesus, we flip the tables. We tear up things. So listen, I ain't even got to the thought of the day. That was just talking about the quotes. The thought of the day, y'all, is to be authentic, to be your truest self. And this is what I have found out. When you are your authentic self, you rub people the wrong way. When you are your authentic self, you rub people the wrong way and they do not understand how to communicate and talk with you. Now, if you're new on this journey and you don't understand that concept that I'm different, I don't care who knows it, I was meant to stand out, I am a shining light. If you at any point question your ability of who you are, good morning, Tiffany, then you don't understand that being your authentic self can rub people the wrong way. They get angry and frustrated. And if you are not understanding that you're being your authentic self, you will begin to change who you are to fit that current circumstance, place, location, or thing. Come on, Miss Rivera, mine too, both hands. Because when I am my authentic self, and you're going to get all of Yanitra, JoJo, Louise, pick a name, and you're going to get all of me. And when I stand in that, flat-footed, head back, chest up, and I give you that, I may rub you the wrong way. Now, it is up to you to decide if that's too much for you. But me being authentic, me understanding who I am and understanding how I communicate, how I operate, my belief system, and, you know, the guidance of truth. We line it up to those three things. The guidance of truth. Does it give me peace? Does it give me directive and direction? Honey, does it give me freedom? And if I can't line it up to my directive of truth, that means I'm not my true authentic self. That means at some point, something is going to knock me off and I'm going to feel it. You know that feeling? I can't quite put my finger on it, but this ain't right. It is because you're not being your authentic self. You're not standing in where you are. It is because the energy, person, place, or thing that you're interacting with at that moment does not understand the who you are. And or, let's be clear, friends. Good morning, Cousin Carl. Let's be very clear. They may not understand you being authentic, and they may be jealous of you being authentic. I know jealous is a hard word. They may be jealous of you being authentic. They may be upset that you can speak and say and stand in your character that is you, because they are not able to. Now, if that creates an atmosphere of unease for you, and you have to decide, look at your circle and the people around you. Is this something that is serving you, or is this not? Now, we're all grown and we know that relationships are give and take. Good morning, Shakira. How you doing? So we're grown. We understand that relationships are give and take. I'm talking about those who insist that us being authentic to ourselves is not worthy enough in their presence. So we're going to do a square up exercise, and y'all, I'm working on that square up notebook. To get you a piece of paper, mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, right? Write those 4 things out. Where are you not your authentic self? Where have you not been yourself mentally because some person, place, or thing has challenged you? Where have you not been yourself emotionally because something challenged? Not challenged you to get outside of being comfortable, but challenged who you are so that you felt like you needed to change who you are in order to fit their atmosphere. Which brings me to the circle of your energy bucket. You have 100% in your energy bucket every morning. Now, if somebody takes 99.9% of your energy by 10 a.m., you have nothing left to operate on the rest of the day. So that leaves you angry, mad, frustrated, but you gave that energy away, which leads us back to you're the doorkeeper. You are the usher, honey, to what is you. So if you don't understand your value, somebody will give you theirs and you'll be forced to live it. And I want us to understand the power of value system, respect, authenticity. And when we're being authentic to ourselves, we respect those around us, right? Not only can I respect you more, I value what you're saying more because it's coming both ways. Now, to be authentic to yourself, you have to have the ability to reject negativity. You have to have the ability to reject negativity. Now, how we get there is you often leave your mind open to accept the negative thoughts that people give you because you assume it's just conversation. Words are not, y'all know I'm a fan of word replacement. Words are just not words. Okay? You just don't say things. There are meanings and they have definitions. That's why you got to be careful about the words that come out of your mouth. And y'all know my favorite thing in the morning before I wake up, I give my words and my breath direction. If I don't give my words and my breath direction before my feet hit the floor, I am operating under somebody else's value system because I have not been clear about mine this morning. It doesn't have to be something big and dramatic. So if I want to give my words and my breath direction today to stay peaceful, that's what I say. Today I give my words and my breath direction to accomplish this goal. Give your words something to accomplish because if you're a God's girl, the word says it can't come. The word can't come back to you empty. So send it out with something. And if you don't send it out with anything, that's what you will get, which will create your circle of insanity. So if you don't understand your value, somebody will give you theirs and you'll be forced to live them. And you leave your mind open to receive negativity. You've got to be mindful of the words that people say. Mental, emotionally, physically, and financially. So if we're aware that if I accept negative words, it may change who I am, me being authentic to myself, me understanding my value, then me as a person, I've got to step back and begin to redefine my boundaries. What Iana said, from this point, I cannot go and you cannot come. Good morning, Lisa. So who are you going to tell that to today? From this point, I cannot go and you cannot come. It doesn't mean I love you any less. It doesn't mean I'm any better. It doesn't mean you're any better than me. It means I respect who you are on your journey. And me respecting who you are on your journey, I am valuing also myself, and I'm going to step into my authentic self. Because if I continue to honor this, then I'm not being authentic. Which brings me to the quote, by what authority would I dare to remain silent? By what authority? Who is fixing to tell me, JoJo from North Carolina, to be silent about that thing? Who fixing to? Who about to tell me to be, especially about a thing, mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, that does not serve you? Why would you be silent? And if, friend, you remain silent and assume you have no voice, then you have just lost the biggest battle of your entire life. That I can assure you. If you assume you have no words and your words have no value and that you couldn't possibly insert yourself into that moment, then you've given all of your power away. There's a quote that says, yeah, I'm fixing it. There's a quote that says, the hardest thing the hardest thing is that we're so powerful that we give our power away, or we assume we don't have any power. And y'all know me, I love to say that you are so powerful, you override the God-given authority inside of you every day to accept something that is not for you. So as we look at the negativity and that we have the ability to reject any negative thing, we also have to be aware of what is in our surrounding. What are we allowing into our mind to assume that this negative thing is correct? And then as you look at that list, ask yourself, square that up. What authority do I remain silent mentally, emotionally, physically, and financially? Who fixing to tell me to stop talking? Whose authority are you going to remain silent? And if you have remained silent in those areas, write it down and then flip it over. What would my life look like if I was no longer silent about that thing? What stories have I loved and believed in that have created possibilities and limitations for me? What story are we holding on to that has created your limitations and that has given you possibilities? And the last quote, to be authentic, you need to understand your values and live by them. And if you don't understand your values, that's okay. Your value and your belief system is simply a series of thoughts that you have over and over again. If what you currently believe and think and do every day, your habitual mind, meaning that thing that you continuously do, if you don't like it, for the next 30, you know what? I got a journal for somebody. Y'all know. I always got a journal. The first person to send me their address, I got a journal for you. You can DM it to me so everybody don't have to have your address. Send me your address, because for the next 30 days, the sole purpose of this journal is to write down your new thought, idea, or behavior that you want to have set up from here on out. So if my belief system is just a series of thoughts that I have continuously, my belief and my value system is a series of thoughts that I have over and over and over again, right? Then if I can think a different thought for the next 30 to 60 days, you, my friend, have developed a new value system. You just have to decide if you're worth it, if the time is worth it. And you can say, you know what, that JoJo, she always got something to say. You can call me crazy. I will even take that. But I dare you, just for the day, to look at your value and your belief system. Where did it come from? Who gave it to you? Why do you continue to do the same thing? Does that serve you? Does it serve your family? And if you continue in this belief system, will you be able to serve your family better or less? And we've got to learn to ask ourselves those questions that may not feel good, but when we get the answer and understanding, the outcome will be good. It may not feel good to ask it in the beginning, but the outcome of asking and getting to that answer is where the power lies. So if you don't understand your values, somebody will give you theirs and you'll be forced to live it. And when you are your authentic self, which is the thought of the day, you will begin to rub people the wrong way. You will rub them the wrong way. Not everybody, but some people you will rub the wrong way when you understand who, what, and why you are. Remember, we talked about when you get clear on your why, we don't worry about the how, but when we get clear on the why, which is understanding where you're going and why, and being your authentic self, when you understand that without a shadow of a doubt, when it interacts with an atmosphere that doesn't fit. Y'all remember that block we had as a kid, and you had to, it came with the shapes, but you had to put your shapes into the box? Do they still make that toy? That's you. You're that box with different shapes. And if you got the square and you're trying to push that into the circle, more likely it's not going to go. And if you keep pushing, what happens? It makes the edges of the thing spray out. It changes the shape of that toy. Honey, it's changing the shape of you. The more you try to fit and mold yourself into what is not serving you, the more you're changing yourself into something or someone you do not like. Now you're angry. You're upset. You don't understand what's going on. Honey, because it is harder to live small than it is to live great. In the moment we stop understanding our greatness and that you being your authentic you is the best way to serve this life, is the minute, if we forget that, that's the minute you start to reshape yourself. You're not going to fit in any of those holes in the box. Nothing is going to feel right. Have you ever put something together? I know I have, and I have forced the screw in there because I assumed that's where it went, and it didn't sit right. Or perhaps you put on a pair of jeans that you knew was too little, and the button pressed into your belly button, and when you took them off, you had the mark of the button on your belly button. I cannot be the only one. Or you put on that high heel shoe because it was your cute shoe. It wasn't your walking shoe. And by the time you finally sat down, your toe hurt so bad you was walking like you had a broke leg. That's what's happening to life. That's you not being your authentic self, trying to reshape yourself to fit your current atmosphere. That's not serving you. So on this lovely day, as you understand who you are, why you are, where you're going, when you begin to ask, by what authority would I remain silent? Why am I going to be quiet about this thing? As you begin to reject the negativity, right, Tammy? Honey, I will take off a shoe in a minute and walk barefoot like it ain't nothing. Because I'm not fixing to be uncomfortable. I'm going to be JoJo. I'm going to be authentic to who I am. And when you are your authentic self, sometimes you rub people the wrong way. Now you have to decide. I will be very clear. You have to decide whether or not you being your authentic self is the best thing for you in that moment. Because you not be... Lesson learned. Learn from JoJo, Confessions and Conversations. I tried to fit myself into an atmosphere that did not serve me, because at that moment I assumed this is what I needed to do to get to a means. But what I really needed to do was be my authentic self. And because, oh, come on, JoJo, because I was not my authentic self, the hell, the frustration, the anger, the attitude, that was me. Not anybody else. It was me, because I chose not to be my authentic self. Now, the moment I choose to remove myself from that, the peace, honey, mental, emotionally, physically, financially, because the more we force ourselves, because we assume we got to be this way for this atmosphere, what you'll find, friend, is that it never works. It will work for a moment, okay? It will work for a moment. It will. Come on, Shakira. Ain't I? I done been there, done that, wrote a book, honey, 2 hand claps, and all the things. And if I'm not my authentic self, I cannot serve you. I cannot help you. There's nothing JoJo can do for you. I can't hold space for you. I can't be my sister's keeper. I can't do Sister Rise Retreat. I can't write another book. And y'all, book 8 is on the way. I can't write another one if I'm not authentic to myself. Because if I'm not authentic to myself, I then begin to accept the negative things that are around me. And then if I'm not careful or mindful of the words that people are giving me, because this is good ground and whatever is put over here can be planted. And if I don't cause a disruption, a revolution inside of me to say, wait, what? Now this not you. Let me go down, and this is why you got to be very clear of your why. You got to be very clear of who and what you are. So when something disrupts you or causes a disruption in your atmosphere, you can go, let me go down my checklist of being my authentic self. And then I line it up to my guidance of truth. Does it give me peace? Does it give me freedom? Does it give me direction and directive? Oh, well, those three are checked off. Well, then you keep on going down the list of what does this mean what are the criteria for showing up in your life? And if you can't check any of them off, friend, then maybe you are changing yourself for your atmosphere and it is not serving you. So on this lovely day, and it's going to be the most amazing day ever, I want you to feel certain about yourself. I want you to feel certain that the decision you have made is for you. That's for me. Listen, all the past 2 weeks have all been for me. So that as you begin to understand your values, as you begin to step into your authentic self. And I will tell you, y'all been with me for the past 4 years. I'm not the same girl that started the Fearless Morning Show 4 years ago. Not the same woman last year, not even 6 months ago. And the more I step into and become clearer about my why, and the more I understand that, the easier the walk becomes. And the quicker something, if it's mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, that interrupts the flow, that causes a blockage, the quicker I can release that out of my way and keep moving toward my, because what's not changing? My final destination. And if my words are a light for my next steps, I've got to be mindful of the words that are coming out of my mouth. I've got to be mindful of my value system, of my integrity. I've got to be mindful of me being my authentic self. And what does that look like for me? So if you want to do that exercise, we got 2 square up exercises, but to figure out what is your authentic self, right? What does it feel like when you do that thing? How do you feel when you're in that atmosphere? Mentally, emotionally, physically, financially. And if you have a hard time describing that, you may not be operating in your true self. You may not be authentic to who you are. Because what is clear, when you do what you do, and can't nobody do it like you do it, you're clear, honey. You won't have trouble articulating nothing. The lesson I learned, what was this? School was still in. So this was 2019. I talked about this. When I learned to communicate the right thing to the right people. Because sometimes we're communicating the right thing to the wrong people. Sometimes we're communicating the wrong thing to the right person. But at all times, I need to be communicating the right thing to myself. So I need to understand the words that are coming out of my mouth, which means I've got to feel certain about myself, which means I've got to be my authentic self, which means I need to understand who I am. I cannot afford not to. I cannot afford not to. Aunt Ann, yeah, I miss Aunt Ann, cousin Carl. So on this most amazing day, I want you to have the best day ever. I want you to be peaceful, period, because there's absolutely nothing after that. And I want you to, I'm going to put all of these quotes in here one by one so you guys can have them. The first one is, by what authority would you dare to remain silent? That's a good one. What story have you loved and believed and created the possibilities of your limitations and your possibilities? Honey, we can tell ourselves some stories. And to be authentic, you need to understand your values and live by them. And friend, the minute we begin to do that is the minute the journey of freedom becomes easier. I think we make it hard. We make it real hard. I have made it hard. I've made it hard on myself. That's my fault. I'll take that. Because when you don't operate in who you are, it causes struggle and strife in your atmosphere. It causes struggle and strife in your current reality. So on this most amazing day, I want you to have a good day. Please make sure you share the show because sharing is caring. If your friends and family don't have Facebook, honey, send them on over to the YouTube channel. They can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows. I have over 915 videos. I think there's like 400 over there. I'm loading the rest slowly but surely. So go watch the Fearless Morning Show. Go listen to the podcast, honey. Read a book. May is Mental Health Month. I wrote a book called Mommy in Mental Health. If you want a copy, it is available on Amazon. Or if you send me an email, a message, I will send you the link so that you can purchase that. It talks about being a mother and dealing with your mental health and the importance of you being healthy for your children. The thought of the day is to be authentic. Thank you. Tim, I'm going to call you later. The ability to reject negativity. You've got to stop leaving your mind open to receive it. And when you are your authentic self, you rub people the wrong way, which can cause you to change if you're not careful. So if you don't understand your values, somebody will give you theirs and you will be forced to live them. And that's a quote by JoJo. So I hope you have the most amazing day. If you share the show, can you tag me so I can properly tell you thank you? Go back and watch yesterday's show. Go back and watch this whole week. It's only Wednesday. Go back and watch the next 2 days. Thank you, Tiffany. So I hope you have the most amazing day. Don't forget, Sister Rise Retreat is coming up. I don't have the link here. I will be posting that. Let me go ahead and do it right now. Let me see if I can find it. The Sister Rise Retreat is coming up. I'm excited. Oh, I don't have the whole thing. I'm excited about it. It's going to be amazing, if that's a possibility. Go there and check it out. If you have questions, you can send me a message. You can only come if you're open-minded. It is not for everybody. I promise you, it's not. It ain't. It's not. And you have to understand, and I have to understand that as well. So I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you guys here bright and early tomorrow morning. If you have questions about Sister Rise, please let me know, and I'll be more than glad to answer them. Have a good one.